Hi, I'm Jessica Lazer. Welcome to Fucked Up on Magic. I am a transpersonal guide. My work is composed of a combination of metaphysical and psychological concepts, which I use daily to create and maintain harmony in my life. Through these practices, I've developed a system designed to help myself and others achieve clarity while uniting with your soul's truth. So without further ado, here are the 5 values to freedom. The first value is recognize objective knowing. One of the rounds this has shown up for me is that of romance and intimacy. For a little backstory, I've had visions of the man who is meant to be my life partner. After moving to Hawaii, I met someone who I was instantly connected with. We spent 5 incredible nights together, during which I refrained from engaging in sex. Emotionally, I was so comfortable and attracted to him, so it didn't make any rational sense to create that boundary. Yet something just felt off when thinking of taking things to that level. A year later, it was revealed how we would have been absorbing each other's unresolved issues had we been fully physically intimate. It took him having a car accident and falling into a coma for the universe to unveil he was the man of my visions. Fucking finally, the stars aligned on my 27th birthday and I lost my virginity to the man of my dreams. Relating to objective knowing, what this example illustrates is that by trusting my intuition as an objective source of knowledge, I was able to go within and allow the healing that needed to happen without complicating it with emotionally based choices. And though we are currently separated, we mutually value our long-term purpose while honoring our necessary independent growth. In the meantime, Spirit has brought me a lover. Despite my lack of experience, I feel entirely capable of navigating these crazy-ass emotional waters by using objective knowing. This allows me to be present with my lover while also staying true to my intense feelings for the man I intend to spend my life with. Objective knowledge is essentially our intuition, which is an entirely different element than our emotions and rationality. When we are truly connected with intuition, we are seeing our life through our soul's perspective. Our soul is our objective source by only radiating pure unconditional love. It isn't influenced by emotional attachments or rational limited thinking. For the soul, love is not attachment. Love is our inherent way of being. And anything is possible, no matter how insane it seems. Unfortunately, we tend to view intuition merely as the result of subconscious reasoning of the mind. So when we confuse emotions and rationality as so-called intuition, psychic senses receive a bad reputation for being unreliable or even fake. Everyone has an inherent compass within, which allows us to harmoniously guide our world. It takes practice to effectively connect with intuition, but it is absolutely possible. Ultimately, making decisions based on objective knowledge is the key to self-trust, and it's pretty difficult to feel free when we don't trust ourselves. Value number 2 is harness spiritual sensitivity. I believed in magic and communicated with spirit ever since I can remember, but my sensitivity to spiritual energies became an issue when I came down with a mysterious illness at the age of 13. While it was never anything serious, it still knocked me on my ass with fatigue, anxiety, and migraines. That health challenge was the initiation into my path as a healer. With my physical health taking such a hit, the usual protection around my aura was greatly diminished. I felt so sensitive as if my nerves were exposed, and it was really hard to feel safe and comfortable. I didn't know what thoughts or feelings originated within myself because I had minimal auric protection, Therefore, I was absorbing countless vibes like a sponge. Energies can stem from anywhere in the universe, such as spirits, other people on Earth, environmental vibes, or even insights from other lives. Needless to say, it's been a long journey learning how to control and decipher my spiritual sensitivity. I started getting readings at the age of 15 and eventually created a little healing room where I worked with various clients. Throughout the last few years, Spirit has steered me away from readings and healings and more towards counseling others on how to read and heal themselves. I feel I have a much stronger purpose as a guide than I do as a reader. While readings are always a part of my work on some level, they aren't my greatest passion nor my best strength. Counseling, however, I absolutely adore. The most crucial component of harnessing spiritual sensitivity is practicing auric protection. This is basically a border of light around your aura which emanates a very high frequency. Auric protection is so important because that frequency sets the tone for your entire reality. It filters out lower vibrations to help us relax and have more faith in shit somehow working out. It is our freedom to stop trying so hard and to be able to act as occasional dumbasses without experiencing detrimental consequences. Auric protection also makes it much easier to recognize objective knowing. Harnessing spiritual sensitivity is imperative for all people, regardless of how psychic they consider themselves. It's important to be aware of the energies which create our aura because it's too easy to lose our sanity when we don't set necessary filters. So far, we've covered recognize objective knowing and harness spiritual sensitivity. Now we need to focus on how we heal unaligned beliefs. A few years ago, I was happy with my life other than my sources of financial abundance. And it seemed silly to be dissatisfied with money when I had the power to heal my relationship with finances. So I dedicated most of my time and energy to shifting my beliefs about money. I posted prosperity affirmations all over my home, taped money to the wall, and practiced various abundance visualizations. I also worked with many other techniques, and about a month later, I started desiring an entirely new life across the ocean. It seemed like a ridiculous dream, but it made me feel so happy that I embraced it. I asked Spirit if I should be looking for this opportunity, but they said no, you'll waste your time trying to find it. The opportunity will come from your friend Bonnie. I trusted that guidance while continuing on with my abundance daydreaming for about another month. Then, Bonnie called me with the opportunity to move to Hawaii as a live-in caretaker for a woman with dementia. Even though the job seemed overwhelming, I had such a good feeling and I knew I was being called to the island to play a significant role with a beautiful family. All of the intentions I had been setting for the past couple of months manifested as reality. I loved my job loved me, and I also received constant windfalls of prosperity, more than I had ever attracted before. And even though I'm not living it up in my mansion yet, I've attained something much more valuable. By healing my beliefs, all of my prosperity arises from my life's purpose. Before, I was attracting abundance through fear, by being desperate or obligated. Now, I feel a strong foundation of security and satisfaction with my finances. With continued patience and perseverance, I intend on being incredibly wealthy. Healing unaligned beliefs is about going within to feel what our heart desires. We then reflect on our feelings of what we deserve in order to understand how such beliefs elude us from our dreams. We are not victims. We are responsible for our world as every belief creates our reality. Beliefs are not necessarily seen through analyzing thoughts. Beliefs are revealed through emotions. When we experience an emotional trigger, we know it's an unaligned belief, creating a void inside which requires attention. Our heart's desires are loyal as our dreams guide us to our life's purpose. Living our purpose satiates the soul, and that feeling is what we actually crave. The fourth value is master emotions. Spirit raised me with the understanding that my emotions should be my most important focus. I was taught it was okay to lie to others regarding my feelings, but not to lie to myself. So who better to shine the light on emotional triggers than family? Every time I visit my family, all of my issues of self-love become crystal clear. It's like the moment of truth to really test me on how healed and whole I actually am. I may be feeling amazing, like I'm on top of the world, but then I see my family and suddenly my inner demons come out of hiding. And I realize how I'm disconnected from myself in that moment and that I don't believe I'm good enough. That disconnection is not at all my family's fault because my wholeness is my responsibility. My family members are merely playing their destined roles. My dad's a dick, my mom's a bitch, my brother's an asshole, and I'm a cunt. Our shadow sides come out so easily when we are around each other, which is a blessing in disguise because it offers an incredible opportunity for authenticity and growth. When I started healing my familial triggers, I had to remember to detach from expectations, surrender judgments, and not take anything personally. I was doing inner work to become more whole and compassionate for my own well-being. The more I love myself, the more I can love unconditionally, not only with my family, but the world. The fundamental key in understanding emotions is to see how it's an illusion, to think we actually care what's happening in our life. We don't care about external circumstances. What we care about is how those circumstances make us feel. While we can't always control external factors, we can change how we experience them. For instance, when a loved one departs, the grief is not created by their physical absence. The grief occurs because we suddenly believe we are somehow less connected. This is why receiving a reading from a medium can be so healing. It helps us realize and feel how close our loved ones still are, thereby beginning to mend the belief of disconnection, the root of our pain. So bringing it back to my family, the healing I do is simply to feel good. And while I intend on establishing closer relationships, I'm liberated in knowing I ultimately don't care how deep our union becomes. This is because beyond our human challenges, we are one. In mastering emotions, we accept full responsibility for our feelings while emotionally detaching from possible future outcomes. This enables us to experience fear-based states while eliminating self-judgment. When we honor the wisdom and truth of our emotions without allowing them to fuck shit up, we become once more reunited with our power. The fifth and final value is embody your truth. My greatest aspiration was to know who I am. Fortunately, Spirit brought me the best person to help me achieve just that. A wonderful woman named Kim became my guide. She's a phenomenal example of realness and honest faith, even with no traditional training of a Zen master. She is a firecracker who won't hesitate to call a bitch out, as she has no tolerance for bullshit. At the same time, she has the most compassionate heart and is someone who is always there for me. She taught me to be myself no matter what form that took, and just seeing her own all sides of herself inspired me to do the same. She never acted as though she knew anything better than I did, even though she is a mother of 6 and I was only in high school. Instead of telling me what to do or what to believe, I was constantly encouraged to look within because she trusted I'd have the answers I truly needed. Sometimes I felt really frustrated as I just wanted her to relay messages from Spirit because she's so fucking good at it. But she insisted I learn how to shut up so I could clearly hear Spirit. Damn it, Kim, fuck you, and thank you, because I did learn. And from there, I developed self-trust, which gave me the confidence and security to embrace all aspects of myself, like I had hoped for. Kim is an example of embodying her truth because she's effortlessly connected to Spirit while whole. Flaws? and all. It felt great to accept both my light and shadow traits, but it also created new problems. This is because I don't rely on my emotions or rationality to determine which part of me is present. So with now allowing my shadow side, I felt lost in how and when to be that perceived negativity. That's when Spirit guided me to connect with my higher self. Our higher self is like home for our soul. It is our pure divine essence, our God self, which emanates only love. It's also where our objectivity originates. Higher self is a blank canvas, unlike our soul, which carries a personality blueprint. The higher self does not have what we recognize as an identity, yet somehow we can sense it's ourselves. So since my higher self is free of my human characteristics, I connect with that divine presence to channel which traits, perspectives, and actions resonate as my truth. I ask my higher self to fill me with the vibes which best honor my life's purpose as Jessica Laser in that moment. It's amazing because I don't have to think about a damn thing. I simply set that intention and allow the aligned energies to flood me. This makes it clear when it's in my truth to go out and get fucked up, or when I need to stay home, journal my feelings, and have a good cry. My higher self also lets me know when it's harmonious to be a cold, arrogant bitch, or when I need to set all my shit aside so I'm able to genuinely provide unconditional support. By being my true self, I easily attract all the right people and opportunities through synchronicity. I feel this is why I've united with the best soul tribe I could possibly have. They are the individuals who I trust to connect with objectivity, so they are great at pulling my head out of my ass when I need that assistance. Without these incredible people who keep me centered, I would not be able to offer my services as a transpersonal guide. Embody Your Truth is about honoring every part of ourselves, the good, the bad, and the ugly, while also channeling the identity that's presently in our truth. When we are the self we are destined to be in order to serve our life's purpose, that's when we reach complete empowerment and therefore fulfillment. So there you have it, the 5 values to freedom. To recap, the first value is recognize objective knowing. The second, harness spiritual sensitivity. Third, heal unaligned beliefs. Fourth, master emotions. Last and fifth, embody your truth. Whether I'm challenged or blissed out, these values keep me fucked up on magic.